So my camera on this phone won't turn around, but shalom. We about to go into the Sabbath tonight. And so Shabbat Shalom to all my brothers and sisters in the faith. Like, share, and subscribe. I just got a little, I guess you could say, meditation, I don't know, message, whatever you want to call it. But it is the it is my objective to help you understand the scriptures. And like I say, I've been listening to a lot of these guys online, and they have worldly knowledge, but not the spiritual knowledge, which, like I say, in turn goes back to Babylon, dealing with the Samaritan tablets, and dealing with Egypt, the hieroglyphics and stuff that you see on the wall. You can find those all around the world. But my point is this: is that in the beginning, I'm not making no argument for flat Earth, or if the Earth is round. But to me, you know what I'm saying. I believe that the world is spiritual. I'm not gonna debate either belief, but like I said in the previous message, when you go read Job talks about Pleiades and talks about Orion's belt. That was not just put in the book because that book predates predates the Torah. You got to understand that the people in the Vatican, in Vatican City, they hold the original scrolls, is what it's called, and those scrolls make up what we today call the Holy Bible. And some of it was canonized. Those ones in there was canonized, and some of them weren't canonized. The ones that they felt like wasn't spiritually inclined. And so what you have to understand is that, my theory, and speculation about, creation, which, Genesis, means the beginning, right? Genesis means genealogy, and in the beginning, I believe, or, it is my theory that at one time everybody was of a dark skinned complexion. I don't want to say black, but everyone was of a dark skinned complexion. So it was really no need for racism. Everybody at one time got along. As I've stated before, racism is one of the biggest spirits that are the demonic forces that the enemy used to conquer and divide. But a lot of times, people, they probably misunderstand me and think that, I feel like ain't no other nation that, can come, and convert and be a part of, Yasharel as, a stranger, and I'll put the scripture in the description, because it says that, in the word, I can't, I ain't gonna say I can't, but I'm using my phone to block out this camera, and so I can't really go in and get you the scripture, and so I'll put it in the description. But I believe at one time, we be seeing comets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? When you look at a comet looks like like a sperm, a semen, looks like, sperm. It has a head, it has a tail, and that comet, that you see going through the skies, is sometimes, it looks like, sperm. And so it is my theory that, at one point in time, uh, a comet did hit the earth, and that comet brought with it, whether people want to say non-ether or whatever, you see what I'm saying? And that's why, a lot of people claim that, the earth, or that the so-called, dark race, uh, which hue means color, human means color, hue, and so they believe that, that, the dark-skinned man was the original person on the earth, what we would call the gods of the earth, you know what I mean? Because we were birthed from the earth. You see what I'm saying? And I've made this statement plenty of times that, the body resembles everything in the earth, from the trees to the ground, the grass. You can look at it like the hairs on your arms, the water, you was birthed in a secretion in the womb, your stem cells is like the trees, you know what I'm saying? All of these things, nothing the Most High has done has been by accident. And so, I believe that, my theory is that, when that comet came, it brought what we would consider the Y chromosome, and at one time it was just man on the earth. Some people believe that, woman is the god of the earth, or whatever, the goddess, or whatever, that creation come from a woman. But I mean, when you look at biology, all a woman does is carry the egg. You know what I mean? Without the semen, you know what I'm saying? That woman cannot even birth a child. You see what I'm saying? So that right there kills, the theory that, what I'm saying, woman was here first. You know what I'm saying? But they'll hide that fact. You see what I'm saying? So that you will believe that, woman was the first. The earth, you know what I'm saying, is a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you plant into the earth, you know what I'm saying, it grows. If you put a seed in the earth, it grows. So the woman is symbolic to the earth. That's why they call her Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, I believe that, this comet hit. And then you have to understand, that was the Y chromosome, which is basically Aleph, and the Most High said that he is the Aleph and the Tav, which in Greek, is the Alpha and the Omega. So he is the beginning and ending. So he made man and he made woman, because for so many years and centuries, man was here or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just, speaking theoretically. Man was here by himself. And, when the Most High seen that that man, needed a mate, you know what I'm saying? Because the Most High, he does nothing without purpose, you know what I'm saying? Because if he would have just left man here on the earth, then, you know what I'm saying, there would have been bestiality, you know what I'm saying? Man sleeping with animals. There would have been, man on man. You see what I'm saying? Which we understand that the biblical law does not sustain. And so what you have to understand is that another comet hit. You know what I'm saying? And with it, it brought the X chromosome some years later. You know what I'm saying? And when people interpret this book, they say that, he took a rib, which is not, what you would call, he wasn't speaking specifically that he took a rib from man. He wasn't speaking in the fact that, he took a rib from the man's side and, you know what I'm saying, and made a woman. He was speaking in the terms that he brought the X chromosome, that another comet hit and brought the X chromosome. You know what I'm saying? And in turn, because everything is in a process, you know what I'm saying, over the years, woman was created. You see what I'm saying? But my point is this: when you go to chapter 6 of Genesis, of the genealogy, there was a defect in the earth, what y'all would call the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? The fallen ones, the fallen stars of Revelation, you know what I'm saying? Because he declared the ending of a thing from the beginning. So when you see the fallen stars, he is talking about, the Anunnaki, you know what I'm saying? The same ones that keep coming back, the same ones in Egypt, that you see on the walls, that defected, you know what I'm saying? And with that, when they made it with woman in chapter 6, they brought a defect. They defected the gene pool, the DNA code. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why you see the Most High, and when Noah came, he destroyed the earth, because basically, they were intermingling with, what I'm saying, the Nephilim. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why it's so important for you to really read and allow the Ruach HaKodesh to give you understanding of the word. You see what I'm saying? And that's why we here for. You don't have to take my word for it, you know what I mean? But you could go read everything that, what I'm saying, I'm talking about. You can go look it up, do deep searches, what I'm saying, on the net and all of that, you know what I mean? And you can find out that what I'm saying is fact, you know what I'm saying? As I've stated, they say that we are in the Milky Way, you know what I'm saying? And the Sirius star and, all of these things, I don't really speak on, because I, be trying to keep it simple, but there was a defect in the gene pool, which created a species, that wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Original to the earth. You know what I'm saying? It came through the womb. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why with Jacob and Esau, you saw two creations, two nations. You see what I'm saying? Coming in the womb. One that was wicked and one that was righteous. You see what I'm saying? And this is why he said, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. You see what I'm saying in the scriptures? So, that defect, which, he's talking about, is a natural gene of leprosy. You see what I'm saying? There's two type of leprosies. You know what I'm saying? One that eats the body. You see what I mean? That's why when you go read in Leviticus, it said if a person had a spot in his skin, that looked like leprosy, you were to put him outside of the camp for 7 days. And you were to say unclean, unclean. You know what I'm saying? The first one, was albino. That was the first. That's how the albino got here. You see what I'm saying? It's through the defect of creation with the fallen ones knowing the daughters of man. You see? And so you have to understand this, to be able to understand the scriptures. And so this is why, Noah and his family made it, because they were the only righteous ones, and his family only made it in because of him. You see what I'm saying? But that's where the defect came from, in the gene pool. And so it was, basically albinos, and when you, like I say, when you go read what happened in the garden, was the same thing that carried on, in Genesis 3, which is what was referenced in Genesis 6. You see what I'm saying? Because in Genesis 3, you see that, the Most High cursed the woman's womb, and that she would have, birthing pains because of her disloyalty to her man to follow, the man's commands that was given to the man, the authority that was given to the man. And so that reference was made to the fallen ones that was having relations with them. And so the first child, Cain, was like his father, which was described in Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, that he was a murderer, just like his father. You see what I'm saying? So Cain was, biologically, not Adam's son. The Bible say he knew her and she bore Cain, but it's evidence that, in the earth, biological evidence that, facts that a man could, have relations with a woman, and then another man come behind her and have relations, and she bear the child of the latter man. You see, and so you have to understand these things. And so, these, I know this is, kind of deep, but it's important for you to understand that. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get into the Samaritan tablets and get into the knowledge that was brought, the knowledge of good and evil that was brought, by the serpent, which the serpent represents wisdom, the wisdom of the fallen. You see what I'm saying? Instead of keeping to the wisdom of man. But shalom, peace and blessings. Like, share, and subscribe.